Hi there. Thanks for staying with us here on Prime On, and we're back, and we appreciate you being on the other side. It's Thursday and celebrating Ghana Month. You know what we do on Thursdays. Relationship conversations always comes up on Thursdays, and so we'll be looking at something very, very Ghanaian, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's still Ghana Month, and we're looking at marriages then and now. My mom always says, Shola, the marriage that you know today is quite different. It's a different environment, it's a different space. People are processing it very differently, especially we, the Gen Zs. I don't know about you, I'm not a Gen Z.
Yeah, I've seen, well, I've seen certain processes that you would go through back in the day that you don't want to go through it now. You feel like it's too much, you know, to do with it. And so some people decided, okay, you know what, I've seen you, I like you, your parents are good with me, let's just go and then, you know.
And then we're okay, Now, and my mom always says, now we don't marry 4 people. Probably in the past, you'll be there, your mom will tell you, hey, you have a husband somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Now, things are very, very different, and that's why we're having this conversation today. We are looking at the difference between marriages then and marriages now. So, KMJ, we have people with us.
Yes, we've got our guests in here. I mean, they are regular guests. They are the ones who always come here on Thursdays to solve your issues for you, you know, and they're doing exactly the same today. Reverend Daniel is here with us. Reverend Daniel Annan is a counselor, and he's always been here. He's solving a lot of issues, problems. Rev.
There's no problem.
Today's Rev, now we'll solve our... Reverend Dr. Nanaya Prepa is here with us. She's looking so beautiful and so Ghanaian. Rev is also looking.
Thanks to Blossom for the beautiful face.
Oh, she did for you.
Yes. Always makes us look good. I mean.
It makes me look ugly.
Oh, no, not at all.
Sure.
Oh, you look good. You look good.
All right. I like that. I like that. Anyway, so yes, thank you so much for the time this morning. We really appreciate you and all the effort you put into making sure people's homes, life, relationship, and every other thing that they, you know, confront themselves with, they always handle for them. And I'm sure today we'll do justice to that. But Rev would not mention that I should get married. No, not in any point of the conversation.
No, he has given that baton to me.
Oh. You see, can I excuse you? But please send your messages. What do you see different from the marriages you've seen today as compared to back in the day? If you have a personal experience you want to share with us, share with us. When your mom was getting married, what are some of the things she told you, you know, she had to go through and all that? And when you were doing yours, what was the difference based on what your mom told you? All right, and then we would like to have the real life experiences over here on the show. Right.
Great. So yes, let's get into it. Let's go to Rev, because first of all, the knowledge this woman has, I never seem to, you know, understand and get where you are. I can't even reach there. So let me ask from a more Gen Z perspective, right? Because nowadays people say things have changed, especially the Gen Zs like me. We're like, there's so many things my mom says that they used to do before that today are not as prominent as we see them. So let's go back to the olden days. You have seen it so far. It's been decades and decades and decades. What are some of the different things that they used to do then and now we're not doing anymore?
Well, thank you very much. Beautiful. Thank you, KFJ. Nice seeing you guys. And I want to extend my deepest condolences to my beautiful daughter, Asedua Akumia, who has lost her father. And she had 1 week 2 days ago. And my heart goes out to her and her family. So, and hi to everyone. Hi. Then, when you said decades, I feel like I'm like, old.
You are young.
I'm young.
Sweet 16, no, not at all.
No, but that's okay. So, well, my mother had a different experience, and during her time, like you said earlier, it's like your parents will be friends, and then they will already commit that our children will marry when they grow up. Especially rich marrying rich, poor marrying poor. The rich gets richer, the poor gets poorer. Because they wouldn't like their rich daughter to go and bring a poor man, you know? And so that was the trend. The farmers were marrying the farmers' children, you know? And so it was much trusted than exposing your child to a stranger, somebody who has come from abroad with the pimpinis those days. The pants are all the way up here with a big belt, you know. I want to take your daughter to Germany, to Holland, you know. So those days, those were not very comfortable situations. So they would rather give their daughters to Kojo Papa. You understand?
Let's go.
Yes, Kojo's parents will allow Kojo to marry Ajwa.
Right.
You know, and they were much more comfortable.
Right.
And the traditional wedding or the traditional marriages were the norm. It was, I believe that this whole thing, bringing up different changes in marriage settings, came up with our charismatism outbreak. The revival that started in the early 80s with the charismatic churches, that's really popularized the European style of marriage. But until then, it was there, but it was not as widely accepted as it is now.
Right.
And now we are trying to go back to our roots, where our marriages must be accepted traditionally, and that's it.
Right.
You know, but the Gen Z ladies and guys, it's like, no. You got yours done, I got to get mine done.
Yeah.
So they don't understand why maybe their parents had a white wedding.
Right.
And they don't get to have a white wedding, even though times are changing now.
Right.
Money is a big issue. You understand?
Yeah.
And also, I think traveling around, people traveling all the way for big weddings,
Right.
the roads are not as safe as they used to be.
Right.
So there are so many factors that are necessitating the fact that we must go back to our roots. Right. You know, and marriages being flamboyant have shown us that they don't guarantee success.
True.
They don't. So I believe that if, like you've heard so much from me, if you can take some into practice,
Right.
our lives will be definitely better.
Right.
You understand? But I believe that for now, the men of God who play a very key role in all this must have a change of mind, you know, a paradigm shift to reaccept what was in the past. And we can beautify it. And we can make it as flamboyant as we want, but not as costly as it is.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rev, what has changed so much?
Nothing.
It's still the same?
It's the same, but the context. You see, contextualization makes a difference. The contextualization of then and now. You see, when you look at our folklore, you begin to understand the concept of marriage. Okwa waria bisa, sefi hoya ubehu, enye sika nenya hofe, usuban ya warabehu.
Right.
Okwa ntintin awaria minko, okwa ntintin awaria minko. Seminyame kodu na smechi ameye de mate. Seminyame kodu na smechi ameye de mate. Okwa ntintin awaria minko. Mate. Then we don't send ya wutiara. Send ya nyamisibo wuyara.
More fans.
So na wusubenyi nechi no.
More fans.
We don't send ya wutiara. These were the framing. Whenever you want to look at a people, when you want to look at them, look at their songs. For instance,
it defines them.
Yeah, it defines them. For instance, Ghana national anthem. If it were to be today, we will not compose it that way. Yes, why? Yeah, because you say, and help us to raise. Who are we fighting now? You're not fighting anybody.
Right.
But that one, it was oppressors' rule.
Right.
It was the British. So when you want to know how people behave, look at their folklore, look at their song and those things. In those times, marriage will be contracted with due diligence. Due diligence was so critical. Either you inform your parents or your parents will do the background check for you. Because due diligence was so paramount. Because of that, you ought to be very careful. Growing up, my father told me, Annan has a name. Make sure that you don't defy the name. If you define the name, you are on your own.
Right.
So everywhere I was going, I was careful. Because can't send me because ye BBC Anna, me go Annan didn't hufi. So it was a standard of a character formation of an attitude. So they do due diligence. Whether that there's some sickness in the family, whether they have a bad character, whether there's a curse pronounced over the family, or something untoward that is negative. So when you are about to marry, the due diligence aspect was very paramount. That's why they take time. You inform your parents, they will say, wait. They will do everything. Then they come to tell you, this and that and that. The choice is yours. Or sometimes they will tell you, no. They will tell you clearly, no. This
and the no was very prevalent in those times.
Look at those times. Marriages, divorces were, it was so minimal. You will not even find divorce. And now, between 2020 up to now, there are more than 500 divorce cases. No, 1 million divorce cases. 500 has been granted. 500 have divorced. Why? Because the contextualization that we had then and now, there's a missing link. And when we lose that link, they'll begin to have problems. The second aspect was the cultural aspect. The cultural system. Every culture has its own uniqueness. So they will always want you to follow the precepts of the culture. When you're Ashanti, you know what to do. When you're coming from Mamprosi, maybe they will demand even only a cutlass. And when the first child comes, then you bring a cow. Just something small. And every culture differs. So they respected their culture and they honor the culture. In fact, certain cultures, you need to be very prayerful, because sometimes if the elderly sister doesn't marry, you have to wait. So the cultural system was so powerful. And with the influx of Christianity coming into the system, then the Christian values also played a role. So you see, most especially, I want to use the Catholic priests, the fathers. My goodness, they are the father of the community. When you're about to, they sit in. When you are giving birth, they sit in. So with the early churches coming in, like Methodists and those, they became part of the community, bringing the relevance of Christianity into the marriage setup. But they never took the responsibility. This is what is happening now. Churches do not marry for people. Pastor, don't play the role of a father.
But they're usually father figures.
They are father figures, but you are not a father.
So we leave them only as spiritual fathers?
Yes, you see, look at the Bible. A perfect example is when marriage was contracted for Isaac. It was Abraham who led the role. He sent somebody. In fact, Genesis 24 forms clearly into our context, of Ghanaian context in marriage, even our context and everything. Yes, they are all spelled out there. So it is the father who has played that role. In fact, I've told people that don't leave home unless your father and your mother bless you. If you're going to marriage, Kemji, please. There are certain things, it's only your father who can do it for you. It's in the Bible. Somebody should read Genesis 27. Isaac blessed Jacob in error because he deceived him.
Right.
But he said, I have blessed him and he shall be blessed. Even in error, he cannot reverse it. So when you are leaving home and your father and your mother lay their hands upon you and bless you, you go with that blessing. There's no one who has had a problem with their parents and enter into marriage and they succeed. It will never. Why? Your father and your mother have a role. There's something in the Bible, and I find it so interesting. When you KMG, you are my son, and you sign a covenant with somebody, and I see that that covenant is not holy, and I say no, God said approve. When you say yes, and I say no, God will approve my own. Yes, it's Numbers 30. So
Even if you disagree,
yes,
or what your father is saying,
yes,
you were a certain type of way about.
Yes, and I said
God
no.
Approve yours.
Because I said no.
Understanding of what I feel.
You see, when he says that it's error, you are acting in error, and you are acting on your way, but it's in error, and your father says no. God says, I will agree with your father.
Wow.
Yes. Look at Hagar's story. When Hagar wanted to misbehave before Sarah, what did God say? Go and submit. So that father-mother figure, please, if you are Gen Z, if your mother is poor, if your father is poor, he's a farmer, maybe you are living in a cosmopolitan area, irrespective of what, even if he's mad, he has a role. So you see the cultural aspect, you see the religious aspect, and you see the due diligence. Then when all these things are set, they make sure that the first thing is that when you are entering into marriage, they look at the prospects. So they don't allow you to be so expensive because they are thinking about how they will take care of themselves. So in those days, children became your insurance for industry, maybe farming and those things. So they will make sure that, oh, worry via, that's why they give sewing machine and those things. Because they are thinking about your employment, what life after the marriage. Life after the marriage. So you see that it's a whole package. So when the person gets married, he enters into a new home, then he gets something doing, then they teach you the norms of staying with in-laws and those things. So sometimes, even before the marriage is contracted, they will allow you, the girl, to go and stay with the in-laws for some time. Nice. They will observe whether this girl knows how to cook, whether he knows how to clean the place, whether he has respect for the elderly. You will be with the in-laws for some time, then they'll observe, then they'll approve. You see, all these things must be contextualized into our modern system so that the modernity will not take away the values of the past. But why now we allow the flamboyancy and all the things around them to blind our eyes of the reality? So when they get to marry, then they begin to have the reality staring in their faces. Then they begin to have confrontation.
Rev, I asked from a very young perspective, right? Because we live now in a world where people say, oh, it's better for us to cohabitate. Let's stay together so I get to know you on a more personal level. Because if you stay with my mom and my dad, they know you. I don't, right? They are the ones studying you. I don't know you. So now my generation would say, come and stay with me. Let's go and rent an apartment together. Let's live together for a few months. Then I can know you on a personal level. If it doesn't happen, they don't think it's worth getting into a marriage because then they believe, I don't know you.
That is modern fornication.
Right.
Simple. It's fornication.
But
you see, staying together as cohabitation is clear fornication. Let me tell you something.
Right.
If a guy comes to you, if a guy loves you, like, look at your package, you are sitting down.
Right.
If a guy wants to approach you, do you think he will come with his worst or best?
Right.
What would he come with?
Best.
Worst or best?
And what
you saying? Are you hypocrite? What you saying now? All that he's doing is hypocrisy.
Right.
I mean, he will come with a beautiful car, he will come with whatever car is latest, but then he will say.
Right.
Why? Because he wants to impress you. So quite often people, in the impression that they create, tend to deceive a lot of people. This is the reason why I often tell people, you must be wise. Apply wisdom. Who is this guy? What is his background? Which house is he coming from? What is his training? Who are his friends? Who are his close people? What does he do? In his conversation with me, what are the things that he say that I say, this is minus? Do I see clearly that he's somebody I can trust? Do I see that he's transparent? Do I see that he doesn't lie or he lies or he gives you a white lie? Is he reliable? Today he has this temperament, tomorrow is that. Is he somebody who understands me or he's a competitive person?
Right.
You are in this field, everybody sees you.
Right.
Is he jealous about your success? or he's always complaining about you, and and do this. He's a competitive person. He doesn't understand you. Does he really care about you? Does he have the God fear, God love, that when you wrong him and you say you are sorry, does he accept it?
Right.
Or another time you repeat it and say, and the last time you said it, but you did, he's repeating it. He has not forgiven you. So you yourself, you need to be very careful in doing due diligence, because people can pretend. Look, ask MG. There are guys who can date 3 girls. It will be crashing down.
Right.
Obia timetable.
Right.
Reverend,
That's the
guy.
Yes, but the day actually, when the way you smile, because I said, Pastor, you are feeling that, welcome, Pastor. That's for KMG.
Rev, Rev, I'll come back to you. Don't worry, because of where you are going. Let me come to Reverend Annan.
Baku America. Baku Europe. Original one.
KMG is holy. KMG is for about.
What's that white?
Reverend Annan, it's understandable when your parents want to be there for you. They want to make sure that you're going to the right place and all of that. In situations where my parents decide for me back in the day, and I go in there and I realize that this is not what I want, but now go back to put the blame on my parents as against they allowing me now to make decisions for myself, go and live with this person, and study the person myself, and come back and say, Ma, I understand the person I brought here, and I know this person is the one for me, so allow me to do this my own way.
But do you agree with me that mommy knows best?
Ultimately, yes. But not in the situation where I've gone an example of a man that I know that I totally do not belong here. My parents did that business for me.
Hey.
But that one will say that God still said
no,
that.
No, you see that.
He has approved
what it is your mother especially knows the outfit that will suit you better than you.
And they never make mistakes?
No, of course we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes, but chances are the decision of your parents would be better than your decision, especially when you are not as exposed as they are, as experienced. You are very naive. You are very fragile. You're very
blinded by love.
Blinded by love. You know. You are at a point where you are. You can be easily harmed. Let me extend my condolences to the family of Joanna Della, the young lady who was murdered at KNUST.
Yes.
I didn't realize it was my very good friend's daughter. Oh. So I spent the whole of Tuesday with her and the family. And the young lady was in a relationship, a friendship relationship, a study mate.
Okay.
So I want to caution our young ladies, please, do not keep secrets from your parents. Do not keep secrets from your siblings. At my age, everywhere I go, besides my husband, I tell my sister. Everywhere I go. Because especially if I'm going with my husband, and God forbid something happens to the both of us, somebody else must know where we were going.
Right.
You understand? It doesn't mean that you are loose or you tell all your secrets. No, we are living in a very complicated world now. You know, so from my understanding, the girl told the boy, I am done. We cannot have this friendship. And he's like, if I can't have you, nobody else can have you. And the father actually went to the school to warn the boy 2 days before the issue. So there are facts that social media doesn't know. And they are spreading so many rumors that they were in a deep relationship. The parents didn't even know until when the girl sent a message to the father that I need help. This gentleman is bothering me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So this is not a relationship that is a done relationship like they are an item. No. It is not like that at all. The picture that's being painted on social media, that the parents are aware, that the boy and the girl are an item, they are together, no. You cannot put pressure on a woman when she says, I don't want you. No means no. So if your parents are telling you that from the way you are, they see that maybe you are a very soft, tender-hearted person. So you need somebody who can protect you. So from the way you are, I think KMG will be a better person for you. They have groomed you. They have nurtured you. They know who you are.
Right.
And they have probably studied him too. So if they bring him to the table, you can say, oh, mommy, okay, let me try. But you cannot just debunk. Oh, mommy, oh, no, 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 no. Well, my children have done that to me anyway. Oh, mommy, no, 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 no. Mommy says, no, this one, no, 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 mommy, no, 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 no. This is not the type I want. Okay. So one thing I have also known as a woman now, when you are going into a marriage situation and the mother of the person, especially the man, says no, please run away. Run, otilo.
But
don't look back.
Beren and I, at that time, the love is not important.
I beg your pardon? Love now and die later, or love now and be miserable later, or love now or quit now and have your peace of mind. If a mother says no,
it won't work.
It will not work. I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
If the man says no, it's easier to appease the man and get to the heart of the man. But when the mother says no, she will go all lengths to make sure that marriage will not work. So it's better for the two of you to have a very good understanding that, just like Reverend was saying, the blessing of these parents are on the relationship. Don't walk over your parents, because the man can say, hey, Charlie, this chick, if I don't get them, I'm going to die. The man can say that, this is the one. And your parents will say, okay, if that's what you want, go. They give your will up to you. Anything happens, you cannot come back, because you will be pinning on yourself.
Yeah.
So when they are like, okay, we are watching, go and see if it will work without our blessing. And you don't need that. Honestly, you don't need that, because they will do whatever they can to give a hostile environment to your spouse, that she will never have her peace. She will live in the marriage with pain. She will live in the marriage with regret. She will never enjoy the home that she's building. And eventually, the marriage will break. Because the Bible says, how can two work together except they agree? And in marriage, the agreement goes beyond the two of you. It goes towards the family. The mother of the gentleman is demanding love from her son as much as the wife is demanding. So if you don't have an assertive man who is bold enough to put the brakes on and draw the lines and tell mommy, I love you to death, but you have your limit. This woman here is my soulmate. The Bible says the two shall be one. So, mommy, please allow me to enjoy my wife. Allow the young lady to have a husband. The man must draw the line. Don't allow your mother to bewitch your wife, to bewitch her and cause her to live in torment. Of course, marriage is supposed to be enjoyed, not endured. But there are now, because some parents have given up on the children, that they didn't want the child to marry this person, and the marriage has come on against their will. They put all the impediments in the way, including going around and saying bad things about the woman, that she will never have children. They would try as much as possible to go to lengths, and even to go to shrines, to make sure your wife never has a child. And if you don't believe that those things exist, just stay put. Me, I know they exist.
Okay. All right. You can send your messages to us. Let us know what you think about the conversation we're having this morning. It's as part of our Ghana Month celebration. We're talking about marriages before and what is happening now. And we've learned a lot.
Right.
We'll try and see if we've got some messages that we'll read. And when we come back, we'll see where we have gotten to. Is there a way we can reverse to where we were before? If it's not possible, what then do we have to do moving forward? We'll look at that conversation. This one says, this is an interesting topic. Parents were doing well by helping you make a good choice. What change was the rise of hostels? Children left home without being monitored, but we thank God for the gift of the Holy Spirit. When physical parents are not around, He will surely help us make the right choice if we listen. Coming from SCC. The Holy Spirit helps in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
He hasn't spoken to me yet. In fact, the man is speaking
You're
wisdom.
not listening. You're not listening, GMJ.
This one says, good morning, Daddy. What about the man, who will him also come over to be with my family, please? Okay, Salome Kagba sent in that. That is the woman going to be with the family. Does the man also come
to the family?
And
right.
also learn from there?
Oh, not necessarily. A cultural setting is that it's the man who contrasts the marriage. It's you who goes for. Until you can't say,
And the Bible says a man will leave his father's house and cleave to his wife.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
All right, that works. Good morning, my beautiful good morning, guys. Looking pretty as always, sweetheart. I just want to tell, okay, I think that's for the earlier conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, so he said, good morning, guys. Okay, send the other ones. We're waiting for you. That's all. Okay, so, Rev, how do we go back? If it's impossible for us to go back, how do we make it better now?
It's possible. But before then, what Reverend and I was saying, there are types of families. There are some people, if you are marrying a guy who comes from a single parent, then it means that guy became the husband of that mother.
Right.
So the bond...
And that's a big deal.
It's a big deal. So the guy will have to divorce the mom. So he must divorce the mom. If he doesn't divorce the mom, he can't marry you.
But most of the time, they don't. That's the thing. Yeah. So what happens to the mommy's boys who never get married?
So that's why the person have to watch Joy Prime. No, it's education.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you have to divorce.
Yeah.
Most single parents people, so it becomes difficult. When even the guy is moving, he moves to the mother.
Right, attached to the hip.
But you must know that, like Reverend, there must be a break.
Right.
So, and there's that as well. So, and there's some people are too extra sensitive about tribes. Extra sensitive about tribes. This tribe there, this tribe there. And more especially, what historical antecedents they might have had.
Right.
That a certain tribe misbehaved.
Yeah.
Then they generalize that.
Yeah,
the
stereotype.
people group, this is how they are.
Right.
So the moment you bring somebody from the it's a no.
Right.
They will not even want to look at it at all. They don't just want to listen. Because they are vowed in their head.
Yeah. Exactly.
But in all these things, there's something you need to do. Build a compromise. Your mother may disagree with you, your father may disagree with you. Be patient enough, pray through it, and work it out.
Yes.
When you work it out, what will happen is that maybe he doesn't approve, but he will understand you and give you his blessings. Or maybe with time, you also come to that realization that, Mom was right. Then you say, I'm sorry, then we'll move on. But in any case, when such things happen, don't rush. Please be very patient and make sure that the compromise works before the marriage is contracted. Quite often, what happens is that why? Anything that happens to you, it is your mother. When even a lizard passed through your area, it's your mother.
Right.
So it means there's no problem that will be solved. So when such things happen, please, as much as possible, let's work on the compromise. It's not everything that I would like. You see, the social media guy who, when the mother saw the guy say he's the right person. Why? I said the mother is a praying mother. Always praying. So when within her soul and spirit, the right person gets, this is the right person.
Right.
So quite often, mothers have intuition that God has given to them. It's not always that it's right. They all have their preferences and things that could work negatively.
Right.
But in all these things, work out that a compromise. Please don't rush. And pray through it. If there's spiritual hindrances, we could work it out. Now, back in the day, like I said, we must look at the context, then contextualize into the modern system. First of all, they make marriage so simple and less expensive. Then they think about the aftermath of the marriage. Let us also look at that aspect and contract it inside. So that today, when you are married, my refreshment was only 1 bottle of Sprite and rock bands.
Right.
Asa.
And everybody was content. Because I think a lot of people are thinking...
Myself, we got married, finished. I didn't have any bridesmaid, no best man, nothing.
Right.
Rev,
I am telling you.
compared to what we have now.
You see.
I mean...
So what we have now, I pray that this is what I think we should do. The traditional marriage and everything should be one.
Right.
I'm advocating for that, that once we get the traditional system and we work it out, we work out the legal framework also, we can bless it there and then.
The same day you do.
Why not?
And the spiritual all together.
Yes. So you do the traditional one, then let the pastors or the priest be there.
Yeah.
Once the legal aspect has been sorted,
Right.
bless it. So that the kana baku. Even on that, you spend on Thursday,
Right.
then Saturday, then Sunday too. Why are they?
Before the honeymoon.
Yes.
Another 2 weeks.
Why
How many they go for 2
Yes,
weeks?
2 weeks.
Yes.
And it's mostly not even in Ghana. They are looking at destination.
I've seen your choice. Singapore. You're in Singapore.
Dubai and stuff.
Dubai.
Oh, okay.
Or Maldives.
No, you see, but last time we were here with Asidua, there was a marriage list that was hanging behind me on the screen. And that thing is a heart attack ready to happen.
Right.
That list, I don't know who put it out together, but it may be the truth. But the moment a young man who wants to get married or a young lady who wants to get married sees this list, that these are the things I have to provide, where am I going to get it from? So you should say that these are the things that are necessary or needed.
Right.
But don't say these are the things the woman has to.
Right.
It's not a must.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
If you want to come to my wedding, why should I pay for the hotel for you? The family members who are coming from far, why should I pay for the hotel? Stay there and I'll send you pictures.
Right.
No, honestly, because if you want to support your family member, you must, the wedding is not a secret. You are giving notice. So prepare. You two have some susu. Now suma bi chebi chade kakra neja fabra no.
Right.
You know, so you should also prepare to support your niece, support your nephew. Because listen, I'm saying if you look at somebody's wedding and you want the same and your pocket is not there, you will drain yourself because many people have relationships, which I mentioned the last time. So KMJ is going to get married. Do you know how many bloggers are going to do it for free?
Right.
Do you know how many designers are going to make his clothes for free? You are sitting in your corner, your salary is 1,500 cedis a month. You want to have a wedding like KMJ? Excuse me?
Right.
The kind of work that he has done so far, the sacrifices, emceeing people's weddings, emceeing for free. It will be time for him to get back what he has sown.
But they are even disturbing me. I'm even tired.
They are waiting for the day.
Some have even sewn the costumes already.
And so what are you waiting for? Reverend.
This one says, good morning, guys.
They are going to deliver.
Please ask mommy for me.
A year by now, you'll be holding a baby.
Hey.
Twins.
Behave yourself. Please answer for me that what if a guy leaves you with a pregnancy, no money, nothing till you put to bed? What action can you, the lady, take? I want to know if I can give myself sign.
My surname.
Okay, your surname to the child.
Yeah.
What, is she married?
No.
Why did she open her legs for the man to give her pregnancy?
Please, if you're the boy, you want to marry a lady and the mother doesn't like you, the girl, how do you help yourself? But Mommy has spoken about it. He said, just don't go.
No, don't go. Because, you see, for so now, you'll be drinking bitter leaf every day. Because now you'll be forced to please that mother-in-law. And that is all you're going to be. You are not even going to enjoy your marriage. You are going to try to please the person who never accepted you. And they have reasons for not accepting you. They may have somebody else that they wanted the boy to marry. Or they may think that if you come in, you are going to chop the boy's money. Who should chop it?
Right.
I am Becky from Takrade. Wow, what an interesting topic. It should be discussed. Okay.
Once every month.
Yeah. Today's topic is interesting. What if both parents agree, but the siblings of the man does not, especially
the ladies,
the female,
their sister-in-laws. I have good ones, so
is that also a red
I want
flag?
to say hi to all my sister-in-laws. You are lovely, the Cheche family. You are
But
lovely.
is that also a red flag? I mean, if the mother agrees, but the sister is like, no, there is
They are
no
more
way.
toxic. If the sister-in-law doesn't like you, more toxic.
So you should stay away from that too.
No, that one, you should let your husband handle it.
Yes, interest.
The sister.
You should let your husband handle
it's
it.
interest.
Okay.
Because they are chopping something.
And you are coming
It's
to overtake them.
interest. All that they need is that they know that
Okay. Unfortunately, our time is up. And we have to
Because
go.
have you heard that I can offer war? Now you are
That's true. Most of their sisters.
until you become an enemy of us nephews and nieces. What you say? So you can't blame them. It's a tradition. Just sort them out.
Right.
Let him capitalize their businesses.
And still
Send some of them abroad. Let them go and find their own husbands and wives.
Right.
And
On that note, that's our time for this morning.
Let me send my condolences, Akomia.
Okay,
I tried.
Hopefully she'll be back next week to join us. And once again, our condolences to them and the family. Yes, over the weekend. Two days ago.
Tuesday.
1 week observation. Thank you so much for watching today's
let me invite people to Authority Bible Church. You have been there before.
Yes.
Yeah, you should be invited
You should be there. Yes.
Authority Bible Church,
yes.
ABC. Every Sunday, 3 p.m. at La Palm Royal Beach Hotel.
I went and danced.
Yeah.
We're back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Right.